Hey, you guys. Welcome to my channel. It has been a minute since I've done a live on here, but I'm super excited. I'm sharing the 5 lessons that I learned about healing with God. So I am super excited. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed your New Year's and the holidays. It's like this week, life is kind of like back to normal in the sense of work and school and all of those things. But yes, today we are going to be talking about the 5 lessons I learned about healing with God. Okay. So as you come in, go ahead, let me know what your name is, comment below so I can say hey. And Okay, let's see. There we go. Popped out the chat. Okay, so my name is Alyssa. For those of you who don't know, I am a Christian certified life coach, and I specialize in helping you do the inner work so you can finally move forward in your life and just experience the abundance that God has for you, okay? So again, as you come in, go ahead and put your name below, comment so I can say hey. But we are going over the 5 lessons I learned about healing with God, okay? So I'm going to get straight into it. So, lesson number 1 was that healing is a process and it's layered, okay? I don't know what your experience has been, but I know that you're watching this video because you are going through a journey yourself, okay? When I started my journey about 5 or 6 years ago, I did not know that healing was such a process. I did not know that healing was this layered journey with God. I did not know, okay? I thought that, you could say that prayer, you could have that worship time, and like things just break off of you. Like I've been an intercessory, I've dealt with deliverance ministry, things like that. And it always seemed like this suddenly thing. So I was assuming that, like, okay, I'm just going to take this to God and it's going to happen like that. And you guys, it did not happen suddenly. I learned that healing can be a process and it's layered, okay? You can pray, you can worship, you can read your word fast, and you can be expecting like a bam. Oh, I don't have any negative thoughts anymore. Bam, I'm not thinking about them anymore. Like you can think that in your head, but that's not reality sometimes, okay? It can happen suddenly, but I want you to be encouraged if you feel like you have been on this journey with God, trying to transform, trying to move forward, and it's just taking longer than expected. Healing is a process and it's layered. And when I think about it in terms of healing being a layered thing, like that is a good thing, okay? Like healing can be so much work. You don't want God to just uncover everything at one point. Hey, I see you in the comments. Hey. But you don't want healing to happen all at the same time. It can be overwhelming because it's so much to deal with. Okay. So thank God that, yes, healing is layered. Some of those things that are deeply rooted, it takes time to deal with, and that's perfectly okay. So, 2, the second lesson that I learned about healing with God is the fact that healing with God requires both faith and inner work. Okay. So, with the clients that I have worked with, one of the things that I realize is that you can be praying, you can read your words, you can be using your spiritual gifts and everything, but not actually be dealing with you, not actually going through that transformation process. Okay. So, let me give you an example, right? So if I was struggling with self-worth or rejection, which I was at one point, I would go to God and I'm like begging and I'm like asking for forgiveness and repenting when like God's like, it wasn't you, like you're good. I am totally like missing the target in prayer. I'm not asking God, okay, what's keeping me stuck? I'm not doing any of those things to actually move forward. I'm literally coming to God in this like low self-esteem way, and I'm not asking the questions. I'm not doing the inner work. I'm not really searching myself. I'm not saying, okay, God, what's in here that needs to come out? What is it? I'm not doing any of those things. You can pray, you can read your word, you can actually love God and still not be in the right perspective. And sometimes it's due to just your soul, like the limiting beliefs you have, the rooted systems that's keeping this rooted issue like growing. Like maybe you're suppressing a whole bunch of emotions. That was me. I was pretending, and God had to call me out in a dream. So you have to do the faith and inner work, okay? Faith and inner work in order to move forward. Because at the end of the day, the battlefield is in your mind. If you're not actually dealing with your mind, if you're not letting God reveal to you and be like your counselor, be your teacher, be the person that can give you strategy and wisdom concerning your situation, then you do struggle with moving forward because your thoughts are always going to end up leading to actions and keeping that like nasty cycle going. Okay. So healing with God requires that faith and biblical inner work. The third lesson that I learned is all healing isn't the same. It's not the same for everyone. What took someone a week to get over may take you 4 years. It just depends on how deeply it affected you. But regardless of how long your process is, I want you to be encouraged and know that God's grace is sufficient for you, and that as long as you keep going, as long as you keep doing the things to build up your faith and doing the inner work with God, then you are going to get through it. You're going to look back how I am now. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, man, I thought I would never make it out of that. And here I am. Because at the end of the day, God is for you. God is for your soul prospering. Okay. So the fourth lesson I learned is it's okay to get help. At the time, I just wasn't aware of like who I could go to for help in the situation. Like Jesus in therapy, like just became a movement. So I wasn't really too thrilled with therapy in the beginning. I didn't know what a life coach even was at the time, but I wish I had someone who had gone through what I did so that they could tell me the lessons that I'm sharing today. Because sometimes you just need to know nothing is wrong with you. This is normal, that it's a process, that God is still with you, that some things are spiritual warfare, meaning we have to literally attack the thoughts that the enemy is trying to send in to get us to act on something versus like, oh no, like something's wrong with me. I need somebody to lay hands on me. Like sometimes it's just a process that you are going through with God, okay? So it's okay to get help. It is okay to get help. Sometimes you just need to have the wisdom and knowledge from someone else. You need to have what I call that aha moment, okay? Where someone says something to you and the light bulb goes off and you're like, that's it. That's the thing. That is what it is. And now you know how to attack it in prayer, in scripture. Now you know how to do the inner work for that particular thing, okay? So sometimes you need to get help. You don't have to do everything on your own, okay? You don't know what you don't know. And then the fifth lesson that I learned is that God restores. God restores, period, blank, okay? God restores. I don't know how many people I have encountered that believe, like, oh, well, this happened in the past, so this is why I'm like that. Or this has happened, so this is why I do that. Or they choose to settle or believe that I'm never going to have this form of healing. I'm not going to be completely restored. Like it's always going to be there. And that's just not true. God will restore and renew and transform you. He will. God is definitely in the healing business, okay? So do not give up hope. Do not lose faith. A lot of the times people are settling or they're giving up completely because they're not seeing results. They're not knowing how to move forward. And in turn, they give up on God. They start looking at God in a wrong perspective. They're thinking that God is judging them or punishing them, or like healing isn't in his will. And that's just not true. You can be healed, you can be restored. But the key a lot of the times, guys, is doing the things of faith as well as that inner work with God so that he can reveal, uncover those mental blocks, uncover the things that are deeply rooted and keeping you stuck, okay? So my favorite scripture that I learned when I was on this process was 3 John 1 and 2. And it says, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper and be in good health, just as your soul prospers. And that is a scripture that I stood on, okay? Because at the end of the day, God is for my soul prospering and he's for your soul prospering, okay? So I want you to know that if you are someone who feels like it's just taken too long, you've tried all of the things that you could do, you're feeling stuck, I want you to know that that's so common and that you're not alone. But I also want you to know that you're not hopeless, that God has the ability to reveal the things to you. A lot of the times it's you asking him the questions, asking him to step in. And if you are someone who is like, man, I could use support. Like I could use guidance and clarity and some strategy on how to even do inner work. I got you. I got you. So we just opened up enrollment for one-on-one coaching services. I have 3 packages that you can choose from, whichever works for you. And I want you to schedule a call. Schedule a call today, and then we'll get on a discovery call and see like what are your needs. How do you need to move forward? What is it that you need to work on? And then we can actually move forward from there, okay? So schedule a call today and just see if we would be a great fit together, if I could actually help you get the breakthrough you have been looking for. Because a lot of the times it's just those mental blocks. It's just the fact that we have not been taught how to do inner work. We haven't been taught how to dig, okay? So I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions below. Hey. But yeah, I hope that this was helpful. A lot of my clients can resonate with just feeling completely stuck after you've prayed, you've done all the things that like church culture has taught you to do, but it's like, okay, nothing's changing, nothing's shifting. So you're definitely not alone. And at the end of the day, God will restore you, okay? Get the support if you need it. Until next time, you guys, happy healing.